I've killed my music. It's alright, I'm slapping music back on. Don't worry, everyone. It'll be alright. It's all gonna be okay. We're gonna chill out and wait for the games to start. We're not going to need the music anymore. Looks like we might be getting into game. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the Cobalt Wins League Division 1. We've got the teams coming out of the off-season. Let's see what they can bring us today. Today we've got Ego for Zero against AEC Clarity. Now, full disclosure, Ozmaniac is a close friend of mine. I'm very excited to be casting his gameplay. So before anyone goes calling me biased, absolutely, I 100% accept that. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to see what both of these teams have got cooked up in draft. I'll obviously be I'll be doing a draft review, like as they draft, since that's kind of my thing. As everyone who knows my channel will know, I'm the draft guy. And then we'll jump into game and do some casting. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So why don't we do something while we wait? Look at a few priority picks that we might see out of these teams. So, on the side of Clarity, we're looking at Sejuani in the jungle. This is a big pick for Hatu. Fosler, we've got his Silas. We've also got his Cassio, which is pretty deadly, and his Syndra. These are the three champions that I most associate with the Foz. In the bot lane, we're favouring Caitlyn. We're favouring Xayah. And we're looking at things like Thresh, Melio. A lot of things can come out in support. I don't want to leak too many strats too soon. I know a couple of things, but they're not on the OPGGs, so I'm not going to go into them. The other team, we've got a Ego for Zero. We've got some Echo in the jungle potentially coming out. And heavy priority on Jinx and Kai'Sa in the bot lane. Yeah. So I'll have to see what ends up happening. Okay, we got a draft link. Spec. Let's get the spec link open. Boom. See what these teams end up doing. So we've got Ego for Zero on blue side and AEC Clarity on red. Should be jumping into draft relatively soon. Seems like a couple of the players are AFK. Once they get back, we'll be starting the series. Have a bit of a drink. Good to stay hydrated on these hot summer days. And we've got a ready check. Let's see if we can start this one off. Oh, big stretch. Ready to go. Okay, we're going. Or Clarity I've readied up at least. There we go, here we go. Let's see what the first band's going to be coming out of blue side. We've got a Tristana ban, okay. Worried about the flex potential on red side. Udyr ban coming out. Let's see, does First Aid play Udyr? He's got some Udyr in his match history. Played a couple of games of Udyr. We got the Echo ban, that is a target ban to First Aid. Ashe being banned. Potentially another flex. Support Ashe kind of fallen off since the what's it called? Echoes of Helia got patched, and you can no longer build it with Font of Life. We've got the Xayah ban coming out. It's targeted towards Alvance, and we're getting rid of LeBlanc in the mid lane. Static Shift LeBlanc, despite being nerfed, is still a bit annoying to play against. It's randomly popped up in your recommended. Welcome, my friend. Okay, let's see what the B1's going to be. Varus. Okay, this is a big flex pick for the side of Ego for Zero. This is a top lane and AD carry flex that they can drop in. Ben plays a lot of Varus top, it seems. And so picking this on B1 is pretty solid because they can flex it. AEC Clarity, I'm not going to know where the Varus is going. Let's see if... Oh, never mind, they're going Kai'Sa. Also a flex pick. Kai'Sa with Static Shiv can be played in the mid lane, can also be played in the bot lane. So we're not entirely sure where this is going. We'll see what the response from Clarity is. But yeah, that Varus pick, definitely something to think about for the side of Clarity. Maokai straight away. Now, Sylas is open, so I wonder whether they'll take the Sylas now. They're not. They're putting high prio on the Melio for Sterling. Understandable. He has played a lot of Melio. But I'd be looking to take away Sylas on the side of Ego for Zero if Oopsies plays that champion. Sylas, obviously, a really good pick into Maokai whenever it's available. Why is the stream category is Valorant? No idea. Let me see if I can change that. There you go. That should change it to League of Legends. We're going straight into the Jarvan. Now, Jarvan into Maokai, I don't think it's the greatest. I mean, it has a thematic disadvantage. Also, Melio can knock him out of his EQ. The ult can cage in the Melio, and that's pretty good, but I think you just want to look to pick a mobile AD carry that can get out of the Jarvan ult, and you should be fine against this Kai'Sa Pike with Melio Maokai. You can play like a heavy disengage thematic comp, and yeah, you're going to be looking pretty good for yourself. So what are we looking at here? You could potentially go Ezreal. I think maybe Lucian. Lucian Melio would be a really good combo here. See what Clarity decide to go with. And there's the Lucian. There it is. I think this is really good from Clarity. So now they're going to want to ban out solo lane champions. Yes, this is clearly a game of Valorant. Exactly. Yeah, so the Ornn, that's a big pick for Ben. Ben also plays a lot of Sion, plays a little bit of Zac. See if he gets rid of those. Now, one thing I will say is that I'm aware that Foz plays Lucian mid. So this Lucian is not necessarily a bot lane slam. This could be a flex pick. We don't actually know yet. Syndra ban, that is targeted at Foz. Big Syndra player. Syndra somewhat weak to the Jarvan though. I would rather be playing something that can get out of the Jarvan ult in mid lane here. And the Nico ban coming out. Nico, of course, ever since the rework she received, has been an absolute menace. She's basically pick ban in the eastern regions. In the west, though, she's not been performing too well, especially in LEC. She's been losing a lot. So, yeah, Foz clearly not wanting to play against the Nico in the mid lane. Very strong in lane. And can make some very creative picks. Okay, going straight into the Cassiopeia. I mean, thematically, the Cassio is really good here. 3 champions with a dash, 3 champions that all want to go in. Makes a great deal of sense. Foz is a big Cassio player. The only thing is that it breaks the Lucian flex. But they're giving top lane R5 counter to R2 anyway, so I don't mind the draft order here. Looks pretty good for the side of Clarity. And so far, I'm favouring Clarity in draft. But we'll have to see what mid lane counter pick we can come out with into the Cassiopeia. Potentially something with like high range. The entire comp of Clarity is actually relatively low range here with the Lucian, with the Cassio. Annie, yeah, Annie is quite difficult. And they're going for the Zac in the top lane. We'll see what Hatu wants to counter pick into this. It's very clear that Ego for Zero are wanting to play straight 5v5 engage, maybe look for some creative picks with the Pi. Oh, they're actually going for Olaf. Okay. I was actually thinking of an Olaf answer. I was thinking of Yorick with 3 points in W. They don't end up going with Olaf anyway. But Yorick with 3 points in W can be a nightmare for Olaf. You just put the W around him and you can't actually do anything. So yeah, Zac playing into the hard engage with the Jarvan. I think any hard disengage, like a Gragas here, would be insane. A Cassante would be pretty good. Even an Illaoi, you know, any of these champions that want to allow the team to come into them. Correct you if they're wrong. The theme Poppy, amazing pick. The Poppy's incredible into the Pike, Kaiser, Jarvan, Zac. The theme of Clarity is that they're just going to turn up to objectives, set up saplings, and allow Ego for Zero to try to engage into them. Because how do you engage into a Maokai, into the Melio knockback, in through the Cassio ground, into the Poppy W, people getting knocked away by the Keeper's Verdict? And obviously Lucian, extremely slippery. Cassio, not an easy target to kill. She's very tanky as mages go. Yeah, there's the Cassio ult to get through as well. I would favour Clarity in draft here. The only issue I'm seeing, really, is that the Annie has a really good individual matchup into the Cassiopeia in mid lane. But yeah, I like Clarity's draft. I'm just going to go BRB for 2 minutes while players pick their champions, and then we'll get into the game.
Sharpening my feathers. Are you certain?
I am back, and it appears we've had a dodge. Not quite sure what happened there. But if we jump back to the team comps that we're looking at, so the important thing for the side of Clarity here is setup. If Clarity can get themselves set up on an objective, it's incredibly difficult for Ego for Zero to ever get in on them. Also, getting through laning phase without falling too far behind. They don't want to be playing from a massive deficit, but they can play from a deficit. I think scaling goes heavily towards Clarity because of a huge thematic edge, the Cassiopeia. Yep. For Ego for Zero, they want to look to make picks. They want to try to pick off people as Clarity are looking for their objective setup, as they're looking for vision, as they're looking to drop Maokai saplings. And also they want to be trying to contest the wave shoves, because what Clarity are going to want to do is, let's say they're setting up a dragon, they're going to want to push mid, they're going to want to push bot, and then they're going to want to head into dragon and cut off the amount of angles that Ego for Zero can enter from. If the waves aren't shoved in, especially if things like mid tower are down, it opens up so many flanks that Ego for Zero can get, and I think they're definitely going to need flanks to be able to find windows into this Clarity comp. It's very difficult to play an engage comp into Maokai ultimate, into Melio knockback, and also Melio cleanse for the Annie stun. You've got Lucian being extremely slippery, you've got Cassio ultimate, all of your engages reliant on dashes, and you've got Cassiopeia grounding, you've got Poppy W. You've also got Poppy's ultimate knocking away key people like the Jarvan or the Zac. So, a lot of tools on Clarity's side to stop an engage. So it's really important to find creative flanks or not let Clarity get the objective set up here. I'm just going to quickly test where it is that... Oh, never mind. Lele said something. I don't know if that will come up on stream, though, because it's an emote. That will come up on stream. I want to see where it appears. Because the chat's meant to appear on the stream. Oh, right. It says face blue smiling in colons. So right now it's kind of hard to see, but I think when we get in game, that's the correct place for me to have the chat. I'm actually getting my own emotes soon, and I'm getting like YouTube membership, essentially the equivalent of a Twitch sub, where you can sub and get special emotes. So that'll be coming in a week, maybe. Alright, we're almost into the game. We are unfortunately going to have the 3-minute spectator delay. So I prefer streaming on YouTube or Twitch. I've never really streamed on Twitch. I've always streamed on YouTube because I made videos before I started streaming. So I had like 1,500 subs on YouTube. It didn't make sense to start streaming on Twitch when I already have an audience on here. So I just started streaming on here because then my audience get notifications. Time for Loldle? Sure, we can do Loldle. Loldle. I never do these. How does this work? Type any champion. Nasus. Okay, it's not a top laner. It's a male and it has mana and it's partially from Shurima. Who's partially from Shurima? Ezreal? Male mana ranged from 2010 and he's from Shurima! Who's partially from Shurima that has mana and is ranged from 2010? Who there? And he's not bot or... So it's a mid laner? And they are either human or magic born. What? Why can I not think of any Shuriman champions? Rise? Let's have a go with Rise. Oh, he's 2009? What the hell? I have no idea who is even from Shurima. Wait, partially from Shurima, sorry. And it's a male who's either mid or top, but I don't know which one. And they're human. A Shuriman human with mana who is ranged. Azir's too new. Yeah, I thought of Azir, but they're from somewhere else as well as Shurima. Like when I saw partial Shurima, I thought of Cassiopeia, but it's a guy, so you know. Oh. Rammus isn't ranged. What are you talking about? The ranged Rammus, rapid fire cannon tech. Wasn't Malzahar? Oh, yeah, maybe Malzahar is Shurima Void. Aha! It's Malzahar. We did it. Good job, Shibatal music. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed either. Who even plays Malzahar? Yeah, but Malz is the worst unit in Void. Maybe Cho'Gath. But Malz is pretty dog. Ben actually running Ignite, potentially looking to swap the Annie into top lane and play the Zac in the mid lane here. But it would be a player swap rather than a champion swap if they chose to do that. Let's see if we get anything at level 1. Organize these because it triggers me if they're not in the right order. Yeah, Ego for 0, looking for something at level 1. Now I do think they need a lead to play this comp, so looking for something here at level 1, not a bad shout. Gonna look to stack in this bot lane bush and see if Alvance looks for a ward at level 1. Clarity doing a very, very traditional standard 5-man spread, covering every angle that they could potentially get invaded from. And let's see if Oopsies or Ben drop a ward in this bush. It's actually really useful to have a ward in the lane bush. No, they're not going for it. Okay. So it looks like Jarvan's going to be pathing into top lane this game. Hatu on the Maokai, probably pathing bot. Is he starting on the red buff or is he starting on the chickens? We'll have to see. starting on the red buff, going to get a leash from the Poppy. It's going to give Zac control over the wave. Jarvan actually switching up and moving into pathing bot. Both teams looking to play around their bot lanes here. It is tank v tank in the top lane. It's understandable. It's also top lane. Dead roll. Mew Mew channeling the Q, but not actually throwing it out. Holds on to his mana. Looks like we might have a little scrap over level 2 priority in the bot lane here, with Pyke and Milio both looking to use the Targon stacks. Zac actually going to hit 2 off this creep. Poppy needs to be careful here. Yeah, not respecting the level 2. Going to take a big trade here. Q into W. Yep, huge damage from the Zac. Hale losing a lot of it. Actually trading back really well. Poppy is so disgusting. Level 1 into level 2 there. Just trading heavily. Maokai full clearing. Jarvan also full clearing. Not looking for anything quickly. Looks like the level 2 battle was won out in bot side by Clarity. 2 ranged champions. Makes sense. Gonna look to bounce this wave back into them, and this is gonna massively favor Clarity because it's gonna open up the potential for a gank from Maokai, whereas Jarvan's gonna kind of run out of options. He might look to cross into mid instead of heading bot, since the wave's gonna bounce back, and it's gonna be very difficult to actually gank this bot lane, especially with Lucian having a dash and Milio being able to knock Jarvan out of his combo. Maokai going for the invade. He's gonna win this. Jarvan no flash. Oh! Potentially a little bit over-aggressive from Hatu here. I think he's in no man's land. Does manage to deny the assist. And meanwhile, the monkey losing almost all of his health. That's going to force a base. Unless Jarvan can do something here, but I think he's too low with no flash. And the top lane is getting very intense. Oh, good prediction. Sidesteps the E flash from Pyke, and they're going to win this. This is going to be all Clarity. Even if they don't get the kills here, they're going to be able to crash the wave. They're going to get a clean reset and spend that extra gold that Alvan's just picked up. But he's walking into a hook. Dak is out of the way of the spear. So just a Dutch person, you were on Clarity before? Be interested to see what Lucian's building here. I know that for a while it was a Stormrazor rush. People have experimented with Static Shiv. I would assume Stormrazor into Gale Force. Nothing actually coming out of the top lane scrapping. I see. Foz actually doing really well in this lane. He's already got a reset for himself. He's stacking up his tier. He's held on to his teleport, so he got a clean crash while all this action was going on bot side. And he's now just stacking this tier, actually ahead of the Annie in the CS in a lane where you would expect the Annie to be pulling ahead with the extra range, especially in the early game. Once Annie gets level 6, the Tibbers is going to be quite annoying. What we've started seeing Annies do is what I've been calling tempo Tibbers. They'll just drop Tibbers in the lane and they'll use it to get prio over the wave, and then they'll look for a roam with their jungler. It's quite obnoxious to play against. But everything going the way of Clarity so far. As I said, I'm not sure where Foz was aiming that Q, but he gets a huge trade here into the Miasma. This could be a solo kill. Oops, he's forced to flash over the wall. But yeah, I think this is definitely favouring Clarity. I think Ego for Zero need to get ahead early if they want to play this aggressive comp into the amount of disengage tools that Clarity have drafted. Zac looking to go in with the level 6 spike and the ult, but the Poppy pick here showing why it's so good. What the Poppy just did there with the Steadfast Presence, I believe it's called, into the Zac. He can do that into the Jarvan engage, he can do that into the Zac engage, and it makes playing teamfights really awkward. I think it's almost certainly better if Poppy goes full tank. Let's get... Oh, Foz with the R flash looking to catch out Oopsies with no flash, and that's going to be a kill. Even though the stun doesn't land, the Annie being flashless makes it a pretty easy kill. I think, yeah, the Keeper's Verdict coming in. That's what I was about to say. Tail using the Poppy ultimate correctly to deny any chance of a dive. This stacking wave gets completely wasted. Tail in a little bit of trouble. Hatu is bot side, invading the Jarvan, punishing him for going top. But while this is happening, the wave is pushing out in top lane, and Tail's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, not knowing whether Jarvan is still sat around. What Tail did there is actually really good. Whether consciously or not, Tail traded inside his minion wave, causing Zac to push the wave into him. But now Tail's going to be able to catch this next wave, and it's unlikely that Jarvan's going to want to still be topside unless he's invading. But you can see these two wards that Clarity have dropped. They've got one here, one here. They're going to see if Jarvan walks into the jungle. So now Tail's feeling really safe. He's just going to catch this wave under his tower, unless he gets one-shot by Zac here, which I don't think is possible. Yeah, dropping the Steadfast Presence. Oh, with the Ignite, though. Oh, and it's all going a little bit wrong for Clarity now. Alvan's dying in the bot side as well. Sterling using the flash as well. See if we can get a replay and see what happened there, because... Sterling gets hooked, forced to use the flash to get out of the Pike stun, but it hits Alvance anyway. And he's just dead. What's going on here? It's all chaos in the bot lane. The Jarvan transitioning to the bot side with Alvance now dead, Sterling no flash. There's no way out for this guy. He is just dead. Foz actually commits the TP as well. Is he going to get anything off of this? Doesn't look like it. Ego for Zero actually picking up a bit of a lead now. Ahead 800 gold at 8 minutes. Now, importantly for Clarity, they did manage to secure the first dragon, and when you're trying to outscale your opponents, getting an early dragon gives you 5 extra minutes to scale. Soul being a huge win condition, Drake spawning every 5 minutes. Alvan's forced to flash. A lot of focus into this bot side now from First Aid. And that's another 2 kills, both over to the Kai'Sa. Oh no, First Aid actually takes that one. I think it would have been better to give it over to the Monkey on Kai'Sa. Looking very good for Ego for Zero now. We've got Drake in 1 minute 30. Now, one massive advantage that Clarity do have for themselves is that they have 2 teleports instead of 1. Obviously, we saw the Ignite used to get a solo kill in top lane, but as the game goes later and later, not having teleport on one of your side laners is going to be pretty difficult to play around. And Jarvan is just relentless in this bot lane. Another kill over to Ego for Zero. It's times like this where you start to wonder if you're Alvance, where is Hatu? Because this guy is not covering. Jarvan has been absolutely relentless. First Aid setting up a tent in the bot lane. Big trade out of Tail. Oh, we got another stun in the mid lane. Nothing going to come of it. Foz does not have flash. Potentially Pike could get it. Another solo kill in top. Ooh, actually. Ben goes into the passive. As they're fighting in top lane, we've got a fight in the bot lane as well. This might be another kill over to the Monkey. It is. But Alvance is going to get the shut down here, probably. Actually, can't get into range. Oh, so close. No way. Surely Mew Mew can't solo kill him. Okay. Nothing gonna happen. I'm actually very surprised that the Monkey managed to get out there. Really well played. Not entirely sure Alvance should be here alone. As we've seen, First Aid has been relentless. There's a pink ward in the tri-bush, so Alvance had no idea whether First Aid was there. And he's trying to crash a wave that's bouncing into him anyway, with Pike showing in lane. Oh! Ignite committed. No kill found. I think from the side of Clarity, what you need to do is just take a step back. Just calm down. Look to play around your waves. You need to hold the E on Lucian here. Yep, good. Holds it to get out of the Jarvanal. And that's going to be a kill. The shutdown goes across onto Alvance. Even though Alvance dies himself, 700 gold over to him. That's going to let him complete his Kraken Slayer. Okay, so we're not looking for the Storm Razor. A little bit less of the burst, a little bit more of the consistent damage. It's going to be good into the Zac, good into the Jarvan. I think the Storm Razor would give a lot more utility into this comp that wants to get on top of you. Getting a huge burst of move speed can actually help you a lot. And Tail kind of just runs into his death. And we're now looking at a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Ego for Zero. What's important, I think, is that they get these dragons stacking. I think they need to start putting pressure on the soul win condition. Because the longer this game goes, the more and more it's going to start favouring Clarity. Alvance just dashing into an Annie. I don't think that's what you want to be doing, my friend. Actually baits it back into Sterling, who saves him. Picking up the kill onto Oopsies. We've got Dragon going down, Ocean Drake picked up. I think Alvance seems just a little bit too enthusiastic, a little bit too optimistic. He keeps going for these plays when he could just sit back and scale a little. He's playing a little too aggressive and he keeps dying for it. He does manage to pick up another kill onto the monkey for himself though. So it's not all doom and gloom. I'd expect to see Ego for Zero make a play for this Herald. I don't think Clarity can really respond given the massive gold deficit they're at right now. I think they should be looking to just sit back, scale. Good deny from the Poppy W. If they can catch out First Aid, then they can take the Herald for free. There is no turret there, so there is a path to escape for First Aid. And he goes down. That should be the Herald over to Clarity. Both AD carries in bot lane, essentially playing top lane right now. They're just on the island at the other side of the map. But Ben here on the Zac just 1v3ing. Poppy W showing why this pick is so good. Oh my god, Mew Mew just cleans up the fight on his own. And that's a massive amount of gold over to Ego for Zero, with the Pike ult doubling the amount of gold you get per kill. You can see they're now looking at a 5,000 gold lead. And it just keeps getting bigger. And the win condition for Ego for Zero looking very good. As I said, they need to get ahead early, and they've done exactly that. It would be really good for them if they could open up this mid-tier one. Open the mid lane, and like I said before, on the Dragon fights and Herald fights, it opens up so many new flank angles for them. Things like Zac jumping out of Fog of War, testing the reaction times of Tail. Jarvan coming out of Fog of War can get a big Jarvan ult. Even Annie. Annie on a flat, you can drop a deep ward, Annie teleport in, drop a Tibbers on someone's head when they can't see you, follow up with the Zac. Oh, but the monkey caught out here. Herald actually still not taken. But with all of Clarity showing in bot side, making that pick onto the monkey, you'd expect to see Ego for Zero take this Herald away now. And ideally they're going to want to make a play dropping this in mid, taking that mid tier 1. Now with Drake spawning in 2 minutes, the best thing they could do with this Herald is actually hold on to it and drop it to guarantee themselves prio over this Drake. I don't think there's any rush to take this turret right now. They are going to want to look to take vision control over these bottom quadrants. So as you can see, top side of the map, vision right now is all blue. Bottom side, vision is all red. And with the Drake spawning in 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're not going to want that if you're Ego for Zero, especially since your team fight is so much harder to execute. As we've talked about, all these tools that you've got to get through. Actually committing to a topside play here. It's another kill. Over to Mew Mew. Now they can look to push in this wave, reset, walk down to Drake. It's actually really important that you get the top lane prio for Ben here. Since Ben's not running teleport, he needs to be able to shove this wave deep so that he can walk down to the dragon. The other thing that they can do is that they can stick oopsies in the opposite lane. Stick oopsies in the opposite side lane and put Ben in the adjacent side lane. And that makes it a lot easier for them. Ben actually going top side here with Drake spawning in 45 seconds. Ego for Zero starting to clear out the vision in this bottom side. One unfortunate thing for First Aid right now is that he can't use his sweeper because he's trying to hold on to his Herald. And I would imagine he's going to come and drop the Herald now. Like, push this wave, drop Herald, and go Drake. Looks really good. Pike coming in to clear the vision. Oh, walks straight into the Cassio, though. Now, Cassio is used. That's a big teamfight summoner spell just to kill the Pike. Cassio stuck inside the Jarvan, but you can see that they're kiting back from the side of Clarity. Really powerful. A couple of kills picked up for the side of Ego for Zero, and now they're going to look to take this dragon. First Aid dies with the Herald. It's really awkward now. Really awkward, because he's going to have to drop this in the base, I think, when he spawns. The timer on it. About to run out. This is the one dangerous part about holding it for the dragon. They actually went for the fight without dropping the Herald, which is a bit interesting. But they are going to pick up this dragon, and that puts Clarity on a 10-minute clock, assuming that Ego for Zero are going to be able to pick up the third dragon in 5 minutes. And you want to be putting this team on a clock, because you can see there, the Cassio starting to look really deadly. There, she didn't have flash, I guess, because he didn't flash out of the Jarvan ult, so I'm assuming there was no flash from the side of Foz. There is a potential window for Clarity to take away a Baron right here. And the reason for that is that they've got Ben in the opposite side lane. As I was talking about before, they've put the solo laner with no teleport in the opposite side lane. And they put the solo laner with teleport in the adjacent side lane. I think this is a lane assignment mistake from Ego for Zero. Because now what could happen is that, especially with Pyke dead here as well, I think in 40 seconds they can look to set up this Baron. And you see Ben's had to recall and now he's walking top. They've realised, Ego for Zero have realised, and they're swapping oopsies into the bot lane to deal with Foz's Cassio. So at least they realise before it's too late. This is something you really have to be present about when not running teleport in top lane. If Annie wasn't running teleport as well, I think the game would be extremely hard to play. I think you need at least one teleport in this day and age, with the way that people are able to play around side lanes. Foz looking to eat some jungle camps. I wonder if he's almost spiking on the Seraph's Embrace. But you can see here, if Clarity didn't manage to get that Infernal Drake near the start of the game, then in 3 minutes they would be looking at a Soul, as Hatu W's in for some reason. Almost loses his life, does lose his flash. But yeah, lucky for Clarity, in 3 minutes it's just Soul point, it's not actually Soul. Hook from Mew Mew, it lands into the Jarvan EQ. Sterling might just be dead, manages to get out, commits the ultimate. Oh my, the monkey dies to Alvance. Big engage from Ben. Doesn't actually press the ultimate. I think he could have ulted a few people there, but you can see that if they don't get these wombo combos, the fight back and then ability to just stand their ground and bring the fight back to Ego for Zero is there for Clarity. Their champions are really effective at doing this. They might look for the Baron now with First Aid down. Foz looking to get the mid prio. It's very difficult for Pyke, Zac, Annie to do anything here. Now they do have Tibbers, but the bush is trapped. Zac can't E out here. Oh, the W actually wasted from W wasted from Tail. The Ego for Zero might have a chance. Just not quite enough damage from the side of them. Although, Oz is going to drop here. And Tempo switches over to Ego for Zero. Now, all the monkey going in, this is going to be another 2 kills over to him. Now the Baron's pretty much gone. It's a done deal. This Baron is going over to Ego for Zero. And that should, without, barring any critical mistakes, this Baron should secure them the soul point. It's really difficult for the side of Clarity with these picks that want the enemy to run into them. Like, you've got the Poppy, wants the enemy to run into her. You got the Cassio, same thing. You got the Maokai, same thing. It's really hard for them to play a dragon fight if all their waves are shoved in and they have to go and check into the enemy. So I think they're probably just going to have to give this 3rd Drake and play for 4th Drake. But that's really scary, because at that point the game can come down to a smite steal, especially with the soul as potent as Hextech. Hextech is a nasty soul. You don't want to be playing against that. I think what Clarity could have done there is just start up the Baron. It's not like the Zac could just jump into the pit with them. I think they could have just done it. They have plenty of sustain with the Maokai. The Poppy also extremely tanky. Cassio's actually going to heal while she's doing the Baron instead of losing health. So, also they got Emilio healing people. Should have been a really easy Baron start. And worst case scenario, I think they just take the fight in the pit and then leave. But you can see they got really split up, weren't really sure what they were doing. They were kind of looking for a pick, kind of trying to start a fight rather than make the fight come to them. And it's like I said, with the approach to Dragon here, with the waves shoved in with the Baron, it's really difficult for them. It is difficult for Clarity to start a fight, but that's not what they should be looking to doing. Or looking to be doing, rather. They should be looking to start an objective and make Ego for Zero bring the fight to them. And yeah, the Drake given away as expected. Ego for Zero looking to deny jungle camps as well. Still sat about a 5k gold lead. 5.8 right now. Slightly extended off of the Baron. T2 is going to give another, what, 600-700 gold? Bump that up to closer to a 6k gold lead. Yep, 6k gold lead right now. And Clarity just need to collect themselves. Think about what their win condition is. Try to get these 3 item spikes onto their 2 major carries. As you can see, Foz almost hitting the Seraphs. Alvance almost hitting the Lord Dominics. 3 items, both of these carries are going to be really dangerous. And Poppy and Maokai aren't really going to need more than 2 items. Same can be said for Sterling on the Melio. Not really going to need more than just the Mythic. He's an Enchanter support. Like, who cares how many items you got? You just do the same thing anyway. But yeah, we got Drake in 4 minutes. So we've got 4 minutes of just try to collect whatever resources you can on Clarity. Not give too much. And then try to get some form of priority somewhere so that you can go and set up on this dragon. But it is going to be difficult. The Baron's going to expire very soon. 5 more seconds. Not going to achieve anything else with this Baron buff. Ben and Maokai having a bit of a wet noodle fight on these tanks. It's going to be difficult for Clarity here. Now they have found a pick, but I don't know if they can kill the Jarvan at first aid in time. Alvance manages to get him down with the ult. Now I don't think they should commit to the fight here. They just used a lot. They used their Lucian ult, they used their Maokai ult. What they should do now is use this window of tempo that they've actually managed to find for themselves to try and get some sort of control over this bot side jungle. Get some vision, get the bot and mid waves pushed in. I think someone should go bot and push that wave in. They're trying to crack open the mid tier one as well. That would be really helpful. But then once you've got some vision, once you've got the waves pushed in, you can start to fight back as Ego for Zero start trying to look to put their own vision in the bot side. Everything's going to come down to this Drake. I think pretty much every... Oh, a 3-man Tibbers into a 4-man Zac ultimate potentially. Flash has come out. Dodge away from it. Oz goes down. Tail's going to follow. Not long until he's gone as well. Alban's manages to pick up the monkey there. Oh, Alban's popping off in this fight. Not quite enough. That's a 4 for 1 to the side of Ego for 0. Now it's a 5 for 1. Only the monkey going down, and that's an ace. You can use this window to crack open an inhib and completely cement vision over this bot side, and I think that's going to be the game. Clarity missing their window to get any form of setup over this Drake. Now too far behind in gold, too far behind in tempo. No vision around the Dragon Soul that's spawning in 1 minute and 50 seconds. Also no vision around the Baron that's spawning in a minute. And what Ego for 0 can do here is they can actually look to stall the Baron for 40 seconds. And at that point, they have 2 game-ending objectives up. They have the Hextech Soul and they have the Baron. And whichever one Clarity try to play around, they can just go for the other one. And it's a lose-lose for Clarity. There should be no way Clarity can win from this position. They're looking really, really good for Ego for 0. Oh, and Sterling's caught. But everything misses from Mew Mew. No support or combat today. And you can see Clarity committing all of their vision into the top side. So with this, what Ego for 0 can do, I mean obviously they can clear it out. They can also just pretend like they're going for this Baron, wait and go for the Soul. See how it plays out. Now, actually, Rylai's picked up from the side of Foz. Oh, he got that second, actually. Yeah, the Seraph's complete. Foz finding a pick onto Oopsies. Can actually use this to get one of the critical objectives here. Oopsies making a bit of a, well, living up to his name, really. And now, Ego for 0 choosing to fight this 4v4. They do pick up the Baron. Zac and Pike kind of in no man's land, but Jarvan gets across the wall, drops the Cataclysm. And with this TP, can Foz clean up the fight? Looks like he can. This is actually going to deny the soul from Ego for 0. I think they just got a little too big for their boots. Just trying to engage, trying to pick a fight, trying to end the game, when they could just take the safe objective and play for the soul. First aid. Is Foz going to go and stop him soloing this? I feel like he could, but he's just taking the mid-wave instead. I guess they're just giving the soul. Okay, here comes Hatu, here comes Foz. It's gonna come down to a smite. Here it comes. Hatu gets it. They're still in the game. Clarity are still in the game, but Tibbers is in the pit. First aid goes down. Huge damage onto Foz. Comes out from Oopsies, but he's gonna drop as well. Crucially for Clarity, they managed to steal that Drake away. And the game will carry on. Bit of a banger. Bit of a fiesta. But a bit of a banger. I would love to say it was a clean game from either side, but a lot of mistakes made this game from both teams. Neither of them particularly playing, you know, executing towards their win condition, but Ego for 0 doing a lot better than Clarity are. Now, unfortunately, for the side of Clarity, while this dragon gives them some breathing room, essentially all it does is give them another 5 minutes. Their ability to push out waves and set up on the objective is still not there. And so it's still going to be really difficult for them to actually find a fight over the next Drake or the next Baron, which, once again, for the side of Ego for 0, are spawning at the same time. I think what Ego for 0 should look for is to look to get the Dragon Soul by using the Baron as a pressure point. See if they can execute that this time. So what you can do is... Clarity don't really want the dragon. I mean, they'll take it, but it doesn't do anything for them. It just gives them some haste and some attack speed, right? It's not assault. Where, oh, we got a fight here. I'll continue my monologue later. Good deny on the Jarvan EQ from Poppy. Mew Mew goes down. And once again, I think this is just going to give Clarity some breathing room, but it's going to close the gold lead a little bit as well. Let them farm their waves, let them wait for their inhib to spawn, let them defend this top inhib. But yeah, Ego for Zero, on the other hand, really do want the dragon. It's a Hextech Soul. It's insane. So what they can do is, instead of sending 5 people to contest the Baron, they can send 4. And with the gold lead they've got, 4 people should be able to stop Clarity just doing the Baron. And while that's going on, they can send 1 member to go and solo the Drake. And then if Clarity tried to move to the Drake, then Ego for Zero will also move to the Drake. And if not, they'll just solo the Drake, and then they'll play around the Baron with Hextech Soul. And First Aid caught out here, loses his GA. We're seeing a lot of people just get caught out for no reason. This is very back and forth with someone from Ego for Zero makes a mistake, and then someone from Clarity makes a mistake, and then someone from Ego for Zero makes a mistake. Surely you can't throw this from the position of Ego for Zero right now. You're still at a 9k gold lead. You still have the split map objectives of the Baron and the Dragon Soul spawning at the same time. Should be very easy to play around this. Annie now with a Death Cap. Kai'Sa picking up a more of Malmortius. Itemizing defensively once ahead. Good fundament. Oh, and we got another pick. Mew Mew actually gets out for now, but he is in no man's land. Sterling gonna drop here for sure. So will the monkey. The monkey also drops, but Oopsies is here. And what started out as Mew Mew getting picked turned into a 5-head bait. I think this might be game. Foz commits his flash before Jarvan ults. He's not going to be able to win this one. Keeper's Verdict comes in too little, too late. That's almost certainly a victory. There you go for Zero now. They're going to get 2 inhibs. They can look to rotate into top lane, take the 3rd inhib, back off, take Baron. Don't know if they can end here. You've got 15 seconds on Alvance. It's risky. They're trying. They've got Hatu spawning as well. Yeah, they're going to back off. They should rotate top here. Oh. They might have overstayed. Ben might drop for this. Yeah, this is the problem with going for these risky ends. There's the stone plate going to keep him alive, but I don't think he can get out with Poppy able to just cancel his E. He's just healing through everything. This Zac is a monster. He actually stalls enough time for his team to get there, but Alvance guns them down. Triple kill for Alvance. And Zac knocked out of his E by the Melio. Oz gets the stun onto Kai'Sa, and now Clarity are going to be able to pick up both objectives for themselves. Unless Zac can make another miracle play and just tank the entire team forever. He's actually going for the back door. He's not going to be able to get it. Poppy's in the base. That's another 5 minutes picked up by Clarity. The Poppy ultimate not channeled quite as long as it could have been. The Steadfast Presence going to deny it. The wave being killed. He needs to just kill the wave here. And then Zac has no real threat onto this tower. Oh, actually denies the jump. Well played by Tail. And Zac once again 1v4. Taking on the entire team of Clarity. This champion is absolutely disgusting, but 1,000 gold over to Foz. And 5 more minutes picked up from Clarity. Well, what is this game? Oh, it's really bad for Clarity if they lose. Oh, they lost the Nexus Tower. Oh, no. Now, no teleport on Oopsies, so there's no backdoor threat right now. Hatu just walks into the jungle and dies. And how many times are we going to see someone overextend, get caught, and it just turn into a 5v5 clusterfuck? Seems to be the story of this game in a nutshell. If you need a TLDR, that happened 20 times on repeat. You didn't catch the rest of the game. Oh, good stun by Foz onto the Annie. But he goes down, and this is going to be the game. Finally, this game will come to a close. Dubstep Ignite from Mew Mew. Jesus Christ, what a fiesta. Actually taking the inhib as a formality. There's no Nexus Towers, there was no need for them to do that, but plus 50 gold. And that certainly was an interesting one. I would like to see both of these teams play a bit cleaner next game. As I jump back into the lobby. Now, admittedly, Chaos, in this draft, Chaos benefits Ego for Zero. If they want to make Chaos happen, I'm fine with that. They have a Pike, they have a Zac, they have a Jarvan, a Kai'Sa, like, their draft suits Chaos. Clarity have drafted Control. Steady, scaling, setup, control, let them walk in, like, discipline. That's not what we saw from them at all. So, if they want to go for this style of draft again, definitely going to look for them to play differently. We got another draft link. Clarity on blue side this time. I'm going to go and get a drink, because when solo casting, you do a lot of talking. My throat is getting quite dry. Be back in a second. Right. It is definitely easier to cast LCK. Right? Or solo cast it at least. I think it would be easier if I had an actual play-by-play caster. I'm a color caster, right? I do the analysis and stuff. But it's hard to do that when so much is going on. Now in LCK, there's a lot less going on. So when I cast LCK games, it's fairly easy to solo cast. Like, it's doable. This was chaos. There's something happening every 5 seconds. I'm trying to go down a train of thought about how macro should be played. Nah, we're fighting over chickens. Like, there's a pink ward there. I am going to die to clear this pink ward. Like, absolute chaos. We're getting into... Oh, wait. We got a different... I don't know. Are these the same link? No, these are different links. We'll have to see which one actually works. I've got 2 draft links right now. I don't know which we're using. We'll see. There seems to be some link-related confusion. Oh my... Do I have this one? Nope, this is another new link. Wait, that's blue. Both of the ones I clicked said spec. Red have readied up on this one. No one's readied up on this one. spec. This is another new spec link. Okay, they've readied on this one. I think we're using this one. I think. I'm not certain. We'll find out. There's more chaos in this draft shenanigans than there was in the last game, and that's saying something. Jesus. I'm not getting paid enough for this. I'm not getting paid at all. Actually, I might get like 13p from YouTube. So, you know. I'm basically going to be rich. I go down to the shop and buy myself a Freddo. So I get a normal Freddo or a caramel Freddo? What's the play? So the chaos is a consistent trait of clarity, or just in the league in general? Alright, back into draft. We're using this one. We're using this one. Udyr's banned. Same ban as last time. Udyr banned away. First aid not going to be playing the Udyr. Tristana Flex banned away from the side of Ego for Zero. Echo banned away from first aid as well. Zaya banned. These are exactly the same, but LeBlanc banned. Exactly the same bans. Ash ban. Yep, the bans are all the same. I think. Pretty sure this is what was banned last time. Both? Okay. Both. Maokai B1. Alright, let's see if we look to take away the Silas, or if you just run it back because you won. Yep, Jarvan, they're running it back so far. Which I thought Clarity won draft. I would be happy playing Clarity's draft. Like, if you put the same players on both sides, or like if you played, like, if you put... Let's say you put JDG on both teams, right? The JDG playing Clarity's draft would beat JDG playing Ego for Zero's draft. Well, the only change we're seeing so far is Thresh instead of Pike. I mean, not looking much different. Ah, Nico actually not banned this time. Nico available. And Ego for Zero's draft, once again, looking to cause chaos. Now, hopefully, Clarity don't buy into it. Don't allow them to make chaos. Is that going to happen? Who knows? Kai'Sa banned away. Kai'Sa played last game. Kai'Sa fits the comp. Nope, Ornn banned away. Okay. I think the Kai'Sa makes a lot of sense to ban away if they want to go with that. You can also ban away something like Draven. Kalista. Kalista not too great at the moment. Varus Flex would be really good. So what they're missing here is AD carry top, right? And they have their Varus Flex. I think Varus Thresh would be really good, but also the Varus top being a flex pick for the side of Ego for Zero would make Varus R4 really good here. They can slam Varus. Clarity don't know where it's going, makes it really hard for them to pick their B4, B5. That's probably what I would pick here from the side of Ego for Zero, but we'll see what they opt into. Cogmore. Okay, no flex at all. Really weird comp from the side of Ego for Zero now. They've got Cogmore, but they've got Jarvan who wants to go in. They've got Thresh who wants to peel the Cogmore. You've got Nico who wants to make picks, but Nico can also do a pretty good job of peeling. It's hard to engage into Nico route and all. Jarvan is just really off theme right now. But at least against some champions, like Olaf, Cogmore's normally pretty weak to Olaf. Jarvan can just ultimate and EQ out. You can use Jarvan ult defensively. And Now Silas picked up here for Foz. So Silas not blocked by the Jarvanal. Lucian also not blocked by the Jarvanal. We'll see what we get in top lane, but this is going to be blind. And Cassante coming in as their blind top laner. I think something like Gwen here would be really good. Alawi. Something that wants the enemy team to run into you. Vladimir? In top lane? I mean, okay. I mean, maybe it's Nico top. Maybe it's Nico top. We'll have to see. We will see shortly. Okay, so outside of lane matchups, I think it's a lot harder for clarity this game. They don't have the same advantage of, oh, enemy team wants to run into me, I want enemy team to run into me. What do they have? Silas is going to be stealing... Silas stealing Jarvanal is pretty good here, like pinning the Cogmore in. But they don't have a great deal of follow-up, and they're actually, as team comps go, they're fairly low damage into Cogmore Vladimir. It's going to be kind of awkward. Silas has to go into them, which Vladimir wants. Cassante also has to go into them, which Vladimir wants. Lucian's fairly low range. I think Vladimir, if he could make it through lane, is going to be a really solid pick here. I think he go for 0. More favoured this time. Alright, looks like Vladimir is going into the top lane. This is something we've not seen since Season 9. This champion just does not get picked in top lane.
Think what I could offer.
But don't get me wrong, I think there's a good reason for that, but we'll see what it can do here. Problem Vlad has in a long lane is that he's extremely vulnerable. Kante just crashes a wave and then waits for Vlad to step up, brings Maokai. I think Vlad top almost definitely needs Phase Rush. I think it's a pretty even draft. I think the problem for Clarity is that they're just lacking damage. They're definitely going to need to get ahead. Otherwise, they're just never going to kill anyone. And Vlad's just not going to die. They might be able to blow up Cogmore, but then there's still Nico Vlad. The Jarvan just doesn't really do anything here. Clear bot side into gank? I think that's a really bad idea in general. Like, if you ever want to gank bot early, I think you need to do some combination of top side and bot side. If you just clear bot into gank, you just lose your entire top side. Like, Jarvan can do his bot side quadrant as... if Maokai does bot side into bot, right? Jarvan can do bot side into gank, like cross through mid gank, into enemy top side, and then into his own top side. And it's 36 CS to 12, and it's just doomed. interesting to see the really heavy Jarvan priority from First Aid. He does play Wukong, and I think Wukong would be a lot better here. Just more flexible in what it can do if you're wanting to sort of signal that you're trying to play engage and then pivot into this high range sort of comp that wants the enemies to run at you, then Wukong much better at slotting into that after you pivot. Could also play his Kindred. Just pick the Kindred into the Maokai, look to play really aggressive and high tempo, and then save solo lane for R5 and use that to get prio to help the Kindred invade. Now, at least in this case, Clarity's got, if they're going to play for chaos, like they did last game, at least this game, their comp suits it. They've got a Silas, they've got a Lucian Milio, they've got a Cassandra. Like, they can look for picks. They can play chaotic, and they can possibly snowball the game off of it. So if they're going to play like that, this comp is so much better for them than the last one. But if they're going to play optimally, I think it's worse. So it depends. Essentially, it depends. Isn't there a way that in Spectate you can zoom out more? I feel like that would be good. Control and Z. Oh, you have to go into the files and change it. Or you can Control Shift Z. Alright, let's try Control Shift Z. Hey, we're in. Control. Oh, I'm not even tabbed in. Control Shift Z. Oh, yes, I can zoom out now. Look at this. Oh, it looks so much better. Oops. Now I can actually see. Oh, they've paused. Now this time, Clarity, it seems like blue side invades bot side this series. It's the law, okay? You have to invade bot side. If you're blue side, you invade bot, okay? Ego for Zero got the memo. They did it last game. Clarity have got the memo. They're doing it this game. We're looking at this mandatory bot side invade right now. Okay, we're back. We're back.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Looks like Ego for Zero looking for a Chicken's Ward early.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I would imagine what Clarity are doing here is realizing that... Oh, he paused again? Or has it just crashed? What's going on? Yeah, realizing that Ego for Zero last game did this invade, they might be trying to stack and counter invade it. Okay, it's working now. Good. Nothing coming of it. Ego for Zero actually didn't drop the Chicken's Ward. I feel like the chicken, like they could have just freely dropped Chicken's Ward here, gotten a massive amount of information on Hatu. If you drop Chicken's Ward, when you see the jungler, you can press tab, check their CS. It tells you exactly what pathing they've done this game. If they turn up to Chickens with 8 CS, they've done bot side clearing into top. If they start Chickens with 0 CS, you know they're starting Chickens, they're doing the chicken start clear. And if they turn up with 12 CS, they've done top side clearing towards bot. It just gives you perfect information. So I'm really surprised that they didn't actually drop that ward, but heading into laning phase. Nico obviously going to poke out Sylas in this matchup. Sylas can potentially look for some cheeky little trades and all-ins, but you would expect him to be falling behind. And -1 for Foz there as he misses that melee minion. Getting chunked out by the Nico. Happens. Little bit of trading on the bot lane. Range favouring the Kog'Maw Thresh here. Kind of a similar story in every lane, actually. Range advantage over to the side of Ego for 0. Looking to play back, look for these nice little auto-attack trades, get some damage. Nico looking to Q, Vladimir looking to Q. And all of the lanes of Clarity needing to find these cheeky all-ins. As Hatu invades Chickens, not sure why. Massively behind in tempo now. He's cleared 1 camp. First aid's cleared 2 and a bit. And now he's probably dead. Dies to red buff here, I think. Oh, he cancelled his auto-attack. Oh, first aid. No, you cancelled the auto. K'Sante didn't have W there. I was wondering if K'Sante would knock him out of the EQ with his W. Both junglers losing their flash. Both junglers needing to recall. But this is favouring first aid. The reason it's favouring first aid is that it's very easy for him now. He's happy to just go into his bot side and clear his bot side. As Hatu, where do you go? Your top side's up. Your bot side's up. Looks like he's probably going to full clear into top. Maybe look for a gank onto the Vladimir. Now the Lucian Melio, the strongest lane that Clarity have got going for themselves. Probably the only lane that's going to generate a CS lead here. Might be something that Hatu can play around. He's going straight to his chicken, so he's going to just ignore his top side and path into bot, I guess. Now Hatu's going to be very low economy this game with his pathing. He's taken the chickens, he's now going for bot crab. He's not going for bot crab. He's just going to leave the crab alive. And so first aid's going to get a crab. Hatu possibly not going to get a crab. First aid actually just doing wolf straight into top crab, and now maybe looking for the top side invade. Might look for the kill on K'Sante. Yeah, Tail not going to fall to this one. First aid doesn't actually know that Tail knows he's there. I think he walked over a ward. It expired, and then he swept. And a lot of time wasted as Alvan's going in on the bot lane. He's going to win this trade, and that's first blood over to Alvan's. Clarity starting the snowball that they need to be able to win this game. Does have to flash away from the monkey at the end there. But gets himself a nice 400 gold. Not sure why he's staying. They could have just had Hatu and Sterling hold the wave, and then Alvans can base and come back to a freeze. I think he should have just based here. His tempo is completely ruined now. And this is something that Clarity weren't doing particularly well last game either. They don't play around tempo very well. And especially when you need to get ahead like this, you need to be playing for your tempo. Like, look how difficult it looks for Lucian now. And he dashes in, takes a trade, but I think he's gonna drop him. No, he's okay. He's gonna die to the Kog'Maw passive. Now, the one thing Clarity have going for them is that Hatu, we know he's around bot side. He's going to come and pick up the Thresh here. Thresh, no flash. There's nowhere for him to go. Oh, wait. He actually flays Maokai out of his W. So he manages to knock him away. Doesn't get knocked back, but he's dead anyway. Oh, was that a solo kill from Foz? Let's see what happened here. Or lands the E. Chooses the correct clone. Dodges away from the Nico route. And just picks him up with the Q. Solo kill for Foz. Huge. And that's massive for Clarity. Alright, see you later, just a Dutch person. Thanks for joining. Aside from getting the solo kill, Foz not too far behind in farm. Once Foz hits this Everfrost spike, he's going to be able to look for more solo kills as well. And that 300 gold he just picked up from the solo kill is putting him a lot closer to that spike. Now, what happened last game is that Clarity bought themselves some time as the team that didn't want to get snowballed on by taking the early break. You can see Ego for Zero have got themselves full vision over this bot side. Apart from the Scuttle Crab, which has been taken by Clarity, they've got a pink ward on Dragon, they've got a pink ward in the River Bush in bot lane. Oh, Vladimir going to have to pull this. Xante channels the W, Vladimir flashes it. He's going to live, he's going to get healed from his ult. Oh, but Tail manages to land every spell there. And that's another solo kill. And every lane winning right now, in spite of them not really meant to be winning. Did Oopsies just use the ult, or was that Foz using the stolen? That was Foz using the stolen Nico ult. Okay. That's gone, but uses it, gets Prio in the mid lane, walks down to the dragon. And unlike last game, the scaling team does not get the first dragon. This puts Ego for Zero on a clock. And it seems like in this series where chaos happens, scaling is bad. Okay? Now, do I think that's true in draft? Not remotely. Hatu, you need to kill the Drake. You can't just leave it on 1 HP and recall in its face, bro. Do I think that scaling is bad in draft? No. In this series, is it bad? Looks like it. These guys are not willing to play passive. They're not willing to scale. Big trade from Clarity. Cogmore losing half of his health, but Alvan's kind of spacing back into range and letting Cogmore get another hit. Oh, Foz managed. Oh, he hits the clone. I thought that went round and hit the other Nico. Foz might be dead here. No, he flashes out of the Nico ult. It's off screen, but he committed his flash to get out of the Nico ult and not get ganked by the Jarvan. Xante going to pick up this wave under the tower. Oh, he misses cannon. -1. -1 tail. Vlad pulls to Q3, but now Vlad pulls on cooldown for 20 seconds. No flash on Vlad. Xante no ult though. I don't think he's going to have any window to find a solo kill. As we see First Aid looking for an invade onto Hatu, and you can see Hatu's very behind in XP, still level 5, the level 6 of First Aid, and a lot of that's off the early pathing. He just set himself so far behind early by making unnecessary plays. Decent chunk onto Ben, not going to do anything because he's Vladimir. Good W from Hatu actually. And he flashes out of the Jarvan ult. Jarvan with no flash, he's going to fall to Foz here, there's no way for him to escape. And Foz is actually going to hold on to the Jarvan ult. Foz is massive now. Picks up all that first strike gold. Picks up the kill from Jarvan. See if Foz can expand this lead around the map. See Alvan's there looking to pick up the kill onto the monkey on Cogmore. But they're just going to get a plate for themselves and back off. Yeah, Lucian Melio is their winning lane. Yeah. But the Silas into the Nico, in theory, should be losing out. The Xante into the Vlad, in theory, should be which he is, apart from the solo kill. He's down a lot of farm. And Vladimir having to ult in response to the Xante ult. Oh. We got another pause. Now, while we have the pause, let's look at this, okay? First up, first thing I want to talk about. Foz has Everfrost, okay? Huge kill potential now from the Silas. He can dash in, Everfrost root you, guarantee the QE, does a ton of damage, and then just one-shot you, right? Really big from Foz. He can look to... He has really good pressure on this Nico, and that's going to allow him to push in these waves and move around the map. Second thing. Why does Alvans have an Oblivion Orb? Not Alvans, sorry. Why does Hatu have an Oblivion Orb? But actually, why? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. There is a Vlad in the game. And that's it, okay? There's a Vlad in the game, that's it. Jarvan has literally no healing. Nico has literally no healing. Cogmore's running Ghost, he's not even running heal. Thresh has literally no healing. What's the point of this Oblivion Orb? Like, why are you putting yourself 800 gold behind? Maybe that's why they paused. Maybe it's a bug that's forced him to buy an Oblivion Orb where, like, you know, he's not meant to have an Oblivion Orb, but a bug happened, it made him buy it. And so they've paused to resolve the fact that their jungler has an Oblivion Orb.
A summoner
Oh, we're starting. We're starting, and Kog'Maw might immediately die, forced to flash away from Alvance. Is this another pause, or is it... It seems to get stuck after I come out of a pause. I'll speed it up so it can catch up. So we've seen this. No, it's stuck again. Why is it stuck? Does it fix itself? Okay, it fixes itself. Oh! Oopsies with the cheeky little Nico gank turning into the minion. Tail not counting his minions. Gets caught out by that one. He might drop here. As Hatu is fighting at Herald, 1v1. But here comes Foz. This guy is a monster right now. And you get one shot. That's going to be Herald over to... Foz is going to... No, he's not going to catch top wave. He's just going to go straight for Herald. Is midwave pushing in? Let's see. Yeah, midwave's coming into them. Top wave is coming into them. They can just do the Herald here. I'm going to let Hatu solo it. I think Foz could help him here. Pick up the... Like, they could let Foz... Okay, so one thing that not enough people do is have a solo laner last hit the Herald. This is really important because it gives extra gold and it also gives a chunk of XP. And you can get your solo laner massively... Like, let's say Foz pushed in this wave now, right? And walks up to Hatu. He can go and last hit the Herald and get himself even more ahead. As Kog'Maw is just one shot by Alvance's Lucian there. And, I guess Clarity should just draft in a way that enables them to play Chaotic. Sterling's dead here. Just let him die. Not sure why Alvance is hanging around. Oh, they actually get the TP in from Cassante. And how did Sterling get out? I guess there's just not enough damage from the side of Ego for Zero. Both teleports committed from Clarity, though. No TPs available now with Dragon. I don't have the objective timers on. Let me turn those up. Dragon coming up in 51 seconds. Okay, I was going to say a minute. 51 seconds is pretty close. It's a good guess. Foz picking up the Nico ultimate. I think he can hold this until Dragon. He might look to use it and then pick up a different ult, though. Kog'Maw with no flash. Very susceptible to the Jarvan ult in this potential Drake fight. I don't think they should fight it. Okay. Kog'Maw's dead here, right? The problem they have is that the wave is eternally pushing away from them. Now they need to... Is this a solo? It's a solo kill from Foz! Another solo kill from Foz. And Ben committing his ghost to get away from the Cassante. It's very doomed for the side of Ego for Zero. Looks like we're going to a game 3 here. Clarity just need to keep tempo up, kill Drakes on spawn, open up these turrets, enable flanks. Basically exactly what Ego for Zero needed to do last game. They just need to do the same thing here for Clarity. And yeah, it should be a fairly easy game to close out now. They've got a massive lead. They're up 5,000 gold. 12 minutes. You think Cassante rushing Merc here is a blunder? No, I think it's fine. Boots are really good against range matchups, and Merc Dreads are clearly the best boots this game. They have 4 magic damage champions, and a lot of CC. With the Nico, with the Thresh. I think the only blunder really is the Oblivion Orb. Let's see. Let's play a little game, right? Chat. While this Kog'Maw dies, because he's inevitably going to die again, how much healing do you think Hatu's Oblivion Orb has reduced? Place your bets. Now, I am genuinely I'm going to go out on a limb and say 0. And the reason I think it's 0 is that he hasn't hit Vladimir. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't hit Vladimir, and Vladimir is the only champion in the game with any healing. Let's see. 1! It's reduced 1 healing! It's 14 minutes, it's reduced 1 healing, man! Nah, I need to sniffing tool this and send it to Foz. Put a 3-second delay on this. Hover over the Oblivion Orb. Now that's discreet. 800 gold. To reduce 1 healing. What even was the 1 heal? That means that someone has healed. At some point, someone has tried to heal for 2. And they've instead only healed for 1. Who has healed for 2? I think this might even be bugged. It might not even be 1, you know? I don't think anyone has healed for 2 health. This seems wrong. I think it's actually done literally nothing. Silas obviously not gonna... Vladimir obviously not gonna be able to match this Silas right now. He's just gonna try and pick up whatever farm he can. Huge damage from... Oh, that one tickled him. As we get the Shrelia engage into the mid lane. Really nice from Hatu there. Gets behind them, knocks them back with the Maokai. Everyone TPing in. Big Nico ult. Cassante turns up. But that Nico ult just carried the fight. Foz actually almost solo killed the Vladimir there. No pull now. Yep, Flash committed to dodge out from the chains. Big shutdown onto Alvance. Who picked that one up? I'm assuming it was Nico, because Nico absolutely blasted there with the ult. Oh, good pull. Foz needs to dodge this EQ. It doesn't hit. He flashes over the wall. I think he could have W'd first. Do you not have W? Oh, Foz misses. Few mechanical mistakes from Foz there leads to him losing his flash and his life. Big shutdown. So what I thought he could have done there is just W the Jarvan before he flashes. That's a big amount of healing. And then he can obviously connect his spells onto the Jarvan and kill him. And the Jarvan's going to be a lot lower because he's just W'd him. Alban's looking to open up this mid tower, enabling different flank angles. Jarvan no ultimate. Just smites away the minion to deny the turret take. Ooh, Nico getting a little creative here. Stunts his mythic, which makes him less than... I don't think he can die anyway. Like, Vladimir has no kill potential onto Cassante, whether you build mythic or not. It's there's no way for Ego of Zero here to walk into this Herald. It's just going to be taken away. And I would like to see them hold it, not drop it this wave, drop it next wave and take the Herald with it. Actually, no teleport on Ben again. This is something that Ben has done both games. He's not taken teleport. What they could do here is drop the Herald top and just... like, there is no way that Ego for Zero can contend with that. Because they don't have any teleport. They can't defend the Herald and get to Drake. And that's really going to hurt them the longer the game goes on. Now, we saw at MSI, Gen.G completely expose a Darius pick because it didn't have teleport. I think not taking teleport in top lane is really bad. There's Nico. Cassante just unstoppables it. Drake goes over to the side of Clarity. And we're looking at a 23-minute soul here for Clarity. Chemtech soul, not the best soul, but when you're ahead, it's actually really good. Making yourself tanky when you're ahead, like, you're gonna do way more damage than them anyway, and if you can't die, it's really hard for them to get back into the game. The Chemtech soul here, pretty good. The tenacity helps out Foz as well when he's going into this Nico, into this Thresh. One thing I want to see if Clarity can do here is leverage the fact that Vladimir is running Ghost and use that to get the Baron. Oh, it could have been a heal from Cogmore. Oh, yeah. Because Cogmore has Doran's Blade, so he could have auto-attacked, which would have healed him for like 2 health. Yeah, okay. And then the Grievous would have reduced it to 1. Should we see where we're at now? We're at 19 minutes. Oh, 175? Wow. Jarvan picks up the Gore Drinker, and suddenly the Oblivion Orb, reducing 175 healing. God damn. That's incredible. Baron, the next neutral objective to spawn. Clarity not going to want to let Ego for Zero get any vision around this. If they don't have vision, Clarity can play the game of, are we starting it? Are you going to come and check into us? We're up 4k, 5k gold on you. If you want to come and check if we're starting Baron, we'll fight you. Nico flashing with the ultimate. That's going to kill Alvance. And can Clarity get anything back from it? Who's this TPing in? Is this Foz? This is Foz. Foz, with the biggest balls I've ever seen, just starts the fight. Can he get the Nico ult here? Big! Not enough. Foz drops. And again, Clarity refusing to play controlled. Refusing to make macro plays. They're just looking for fight, 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 fight. Which has gotten them this far. And the sapling probably does enough damage to deny the Baron. They're going to try it. At this point, this far behind on the side of Ego for Zero, you may as well flip it. Cogmore brings a lot of DPS, so does Nico. Alvan's fighting Vladimir here. Tail TPing into the back. I think Tail and Alvance might be able to just clean this up, just the two of them. No flashes outside of Cogmore and Vlad here. Lucian ult burning them down. Cogmore flashes out of the pit, and they get away with it. The steal of the century from Ego for Zero, and now the gold lead is non-existent. It's very playable for Ego for Zero now. God damn. See if they can use the fact that they're now equal in gold to, and also have Baron to push out these waves and get themselves this Drake. They need to get this Drake. Oh, it's actually Ocean, it's not Chemtech. I read the Drakes the wrong way around. Oh, Ocean's even better for Clarity. Oh, you don't want to be playing against Ocean, Soul, Silas, Cassante, Maokai. You do not want to be playing against that. It is vital that they use this Baron to push in bot wave. No one's in bot wave right now. This is really bad. Bot wave is just dying to the turret. They have no prio. This does not bode well for them getting this dragon. I think it's... Once again, we see Ego for Zero having Ben in the opposite side lane without teleport. The same issue that they were doing last game. Now Ben now recalling and going bot. So once again, they do realise eventually that so many minions have already bled out to this turret that could have just been collected for free, and they could have just rotated Oopsies up into top lane to catch the top wave. Oopsies has TP. He can just go top and catch this wave. There's no need for him to be just A-ramming. But he's going to look for a Nico pick, I guess. He turned into Thresh instead of a minion there. I think he clicked the wrong button. Oh, Foz has got the flank. See if they can find Ben. They do find him, but not going to commit. But Clarity contesting bot prio here. Tail without TP has already rotated into mid. They know that this is their win condition. They're playing for this Drake. You can see now how hard it is to approach the dragon with bot prio given over to Ego for Zero. This is why you want to push bot and mid when you go for a Drake sale. Mid completely neutral right now. Which means that if anyone tries to flank through here, they will be seen by the side of Clarity. They will be spotted, they can't do it. Whereas now, Clarity can get in through this way. This is why the prio is so important. Clarity can get through here, and Ego for Zero can't see them. They have no info. I mean, now they do, because they have this ward, but you get the concept. The tower actually goes down, and Foz going to look to TP into this with an item spike. What did he get? He's got a stopwatch, he's got a needlessly large rod, looking to make himself as powerful as possible for this fight that could win the game for Clarity. It's a big chunk onto Ben here. Almost one-shots him. And he might have mistimed the pool. He's going to get... Oh, okay. The Maokai root tanked by the Thresh in front of him. Nico, two-man stun. Colin comes down, Jarvan nearly dead, and Fozzie's going to get a huge Cataclysm. Oh my god, he blows up the entire team. That's probably going to cement the game for clarity. That's an Ocean Soul. Oh my god, is that Elite 500? He's actually just killing the entire team. Ben is just doing his best Elite 500 cosplay. He's still alive? It looks just like his Zac from game 1. Oh, he's actually 1v5. He's just, I mean, he's what can you do? He's just the best. He's just the best. It's Ben gap. Oh wait, Hatu might be able to smite this. He won the smite steal last game. He gets it! Ocean Soul over to clarity. And the fruits of Ben's efforts do not pay off. That is not a tree that the fruits are harvested from. Ocean Soul does end up going over to clarity, and all that hard work from Ben, it's a tragedy, man. He played so well. Gets the quadra kill 1v5. Not good enough. I think we need to buff jungle roll, honestly. Not enough impact over the game. Baron spawning in 1 minute. Vision control looking to be set up. Alvance is caught. And he's dead. And how many times is Alvance not going to count the minions and die to an eco? That's 3 times now, I think? Gotta count the minions, bro. Even through Ocean Soul, it is definitely winnable for the side of Ego for Zero. The scaling on their team is higher, they're at a gold lead. They pick up first aid, that should secure the Baron, as long as they don't die here. Oh, Fozz gets hooked. It's off screen, but he did get hooked. Any way they can survive this? Kog'Maw might just gun them down. I think Ben can win this 1v2. If he focuses Hatu, yep. Nah, he's dead. Fozz is trying to make the escape of the century. Yeah, he might get out here. I think he can E over this wall and then use the chains on the minion wave. Yeah. Just like that. You can see tempo over to the side of Ego for Zero again, pushing in this mid wave. Nobody pushing in top wave. So what I want to see is them let Ben respawn, put Ben in top side, put Oopsies in bot lane, push the waves, TP Oopsies in, win the game. Fight Baron. Who is TPing top? This is Fozz. Fozz is trying to get some quick prio now before Ben respawns. He's trying to push this wave in and look to start Baron. They're going to TP tail in as well, and they're going to look to start this Baron while Ben is still dead. Ben obviously having most of the gold from the side of Ego for Zero. They want to do this now before he can get there. He's not running teleport. So they're going to nuke this down as fast as they can. Alvance gets knocked up by the Baron, kind of griefing the damage a bit there. Fozz looking to zone. He doesn't do a lot of damage. Tail the same. Keeps Jarvan out of the pit. Really good. This is looking good for them. They just need to take that and disengage. Don't fight. There's no need to fight. Just disengage. You've got Baron. Now play macro. Committing to the fight. Oh, never mind. They one-shot Ben. They can win. Ben decided that he didn't want to press his pool button. And now it's all clarity. It's all clarity now. Ocean Soul, Baron. We should be going to a game 3. But I said that earlier and then they threw. So. We'll see. With only Kog'Maw alive, I don't know as they have time to end this. They're calling to end, because if they weren't, they would be pushing a side lane. I think someone could have just gone bot and pushed in that bot side wave. They're going to try to end 5v3. Let's see if they can do it. Oh, Pos gets hooked. They're on the Nexus. It goes down. GG Clarity. Good call in the end. Just about managed to end the game. And once again, Chaos, but this time Clarity with a draft where Chaos works. Pays off for them. I'm being told there's no game 3. There is no game 3. So for that game, I'm going to give MVP to Foz. I think Foz played a really good game. His team fight at Dragon was really good. I would have given MVP to Ben, but Ben lost top lane impact. I mean, to be fair, he didn't press pool in the last fight. That is his fault. I'm going to give MVP to Foz. I'm going to see if this guy wants to do a winner's interview for the second game. Let me call this guy. Hello?
Hello.
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 I'm giving you MVP for the second game. I was going to give it to Ben, but then he lost.
Oh,
Top lane role.
well, thank you.
Well, I say top lane role. He did kind of grief in the last fight. He just didn't press W and you one-shot him.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think he was looking somewhere else. Tunnel visioning, maybe.
But yeah, you played a really good Silas game. Multiple solo kills. Huge Jarvanal in the 4th Drake fight before Ben decided to just win the entire game.
Yes. I tried as hard as possible this game.
I could tell. You played really well.
Yeah, thank you.
Were you worried when... So you had a 5,000 gold lead at like 12 minutes. Were you worried when you started to drop like flies? Alvans kept getting picked by Nico ults in the mid lane, not counting the minions. Were you worried at all that you were going to throw the game away?
Actually, yes. Our draft is so bad in the late game. We do no damage unless I pop off a target. By the late game time, there should be some counterplay to me. So my champion really doesn't do what it's supposed to do in the like 3-4 items. And of course, we had Xante, we had Maokai, so the damage was lackluster.
Yep.
Lucian cannot carry in the late game like that, and so we were doomed. We were doomed if we start losing. But luckily, we turned it around.
Okay. Looking back to game 1, a lot of mistakes made from both teams. It seemed like I was trying to cast and I was trying to do analysis, but every 2 minutes someone was getting caught. It's somewhat the same in game 2, but less so. But it seemed like in this series, whichever draft could play around chaos more ended up being better because it was such a chaotic series. Are you looking in any way to iron out this? Are you looking to be able to play a more controlled play style, or do you think Clarity as a team are going to look for this sort of chaotic skirmish sort of play style moving forward?
I'll be honest. I think chaos fits us way more the way we play. The control type, we're not disciplined. Our comps are really all over the place. We have a lot of things to work on if we ever want to pull off anything control-y. Like the first game is a good example where we outdrafted the enemy team, but we cannot play as team, I guess. And we cannot utilize the Poppy pick. We cannot utilize the fact that we can smash 5v5s, and so on. So a little bit of lack of discipline, comms all over the place, and also just the fact that we always get caught as well, like non-stop, regardless of the team we're playing against and what's going on in scrims as well. We're getting caught.
Yeah, definitely a lot of people getting caught, especially in game 1. You were barely giving me a chance to breathe, I had to say that much. But yeah,
At least it was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. It was there was no gap in entertainment, that's for sure. Okay, last thing I want to talk to you about: Oblivion Orb on Maokai. There
Okay,
was.
I think that was mostly like he was afraid of the first game, Zach. And I think that's more like a fling thing. I don't know.
did no one tell him there was no Zac in this game, or?
Yeah, I mean, we told him that it was not the best choice, like that early. Maybe later on, if it becomes a problem, that he can go for it. But I don't think it's necessary. It just stops his build.
It,
like
it
stops
was
his
really
power
funny.
spikes.
We played a game in chat. It was how much do you think the Oblivion Orb has reduced? We played it at 14 minutes into the game, and I guessed 0. I was pretty close. It was actually 1. So
Oh, what? How one?
it
How
was
do you
it was
deny
it was
one?
it was a Cogmore auto attack with a Vamp Scepter.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
that's what I was
Yeah.
confused about
I
as
mean,
well.
that early is absolutely unnecessary, regardless of what champions you play against. Even if the Zac was in that game and Vlad too, they're
Mhm.
not healing enough for you to actually have use of it.
Yeah.
So maybe like second item when you're looking into a second item, maybe at that point is more. It makes more sense, but definitely not first. That definitely not first.
All right. Well, thanks for coming to the interview, and good luck in the rest of your games over
problem.
the season. I look forward
Thank you,
to
thank you.
I look forward to casting more of them, and hopefully casting with someone, because solo casting is quite hard, especially in chaotic games.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, and I'll see you.
All right. See you later, man.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Well, 1-1, the end score of the series. See how these teams do moving into the season as a whole. Keep track of their performance, and I'm sure we'll be casting these players again at some point. So thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you had as good as a time as I did, and I'll see you next time. Bye.